Hey guys, what is going on? It is me, BikiriBox12 here, and Realm has been around for a good number of years now. I believe it was released to the public in some sort of a beta form in 2010, so that makes the game officially roughly 6 years old, and that is a fairly good amount of time for an online game to be out there. A lot of people, a lot of Realm players, a lot of Realm YouTubers have said in the past and who still believe that Realm is dying, or that it has already died. Now, I'm not going to go into my thoughts on that. I think I should save that for another video, but that is the overall current mindset of many Realm players. However, there are also a large amount of people who have never played Realm before and who have never even heard of the game before. And so for those people who see this game recommended for them on Steam or see that it's free to play and they want to check it out, you may be asking yourself, should I play Realm of the Mad God? And hopefully at the end of this video, you can answer that question. So first of all, at the end of the day, Realm is a bullet hell. It's a fantasy bullet hell and an MMORPG. There's a whole lot of projectiles flying around the screen, you're taking tons of damage, trying to evade them, and it's chaotic. But at the same time, you're constantly leveling up your character, and once you reach max level, you're killing enemies to get gear and potions to increase your stats to make your character stronger. Eventually, you will get to a point where you can't get better gear and you can't get higher stats, at which point you just make another character and repeat the process all over again. And at that point, I will say yes, Realm can be a very repetitive game, and if you aren't a fan of the bullet hell or MMORPG genre, then this probably isn't the game for you. But what makes Realm so unique in my eyes is the intense yet simplistic difficulty. Realm is not an easy game for new players, not by any means. There is a strong difficulty and learning curve, which is really ironic because at its core, Realm is not a very complicated game. Mechanically speaking, it's very simple. You just point and shoot and try not to die. That's what Realm is. It's that. But that simple objective of not dying and staying alive is much easier said than done. This game will test you, and you will have to bring your A game to just about every fight, progressively killing enemies that are your level, and eventually you'll get to a point where you'll look back on those enemies that you fought and think, wow, they're really not that tough anymore. There's a very strong sense of progression here, bettering your character, making yourself stronger, and that is one of the biggest positives about this game. It also has a very charming art style. While I don't think they nailed the pixel art, it looks kind of fabricated to be honest, I think the game overshadows that shortcoming with character designs and colors. Because Realm of the Mad God is a very pleasing game to look at. It's very eye-catching. It's nice. And when a game does unfortunately become repetitive, at least you can say, hey, it looks good. However, I can easily say that this game will not become boring for new players for quite some time. The thing that really makes Realm such a challenging game is the whole permadeath aspect. If you're a casual player who's just looking for a fun game to pick up and play, this may not exactly be the most fun time for you. Since the whole permadeath subtitle does entail that once you die, you lose everything. The equipment, the stats you've accumulated, all of it's gone. The only thing that you get to keep are the items that you may or may not have transferred to another character or to a vault. But for a lot of people, myself included, that's what makes Realm. Because there's so much at stake, in every battle, every encounter with an enemy, everything matters. Because at any moment, you could die and lose it all. You never let up. It's always a constant battle between you and the game. It causes you to better yourself. It forces you to strive for victory. You can't let up because you don't want to let up. You enjoy killing things with that new equipment that you just got. You enjoy having maxed out attack and defense. You don't want to lose all of that, everything that you've worked for. You don't want that to just go away. So you fight on, and it's all because of the permadeath. Without it, the game wouldn't be as challenging, and the admittedly repetitive gameplay wouldn't be as fun. I recently completed Ninja Gaiden Sigma, and I gotta say, that game is hard. And if it wasn't so brutally hard, it probably would be repetitive, cause it's a hack and slash. And if it wasn't challenging, the game would amount to just simple button mashing until you win. And that's not fun. It's not hard, it's just there. That's what Realm sort of becomes for players who are completely maxed out and who have an incredibly powerful pet that can heal them every second. However, because of permadeath, there is always that tension, always that thought in the back of your head that says, if you aren't careful, you're gonna lose it all. You don't want that. And so even the best of players with the best of gear still have to watch their back in the deadliest of dungeons. So if you're a guy or girl who's looking for a challenging yet rewarding experience, I recommend that you pick up Realm of the Mad God. It's free to play, and it's easy to pick up and play. However, if you are someone who rages very easily, I don't think you would have a good time playing this. However, at the same time, you may not be able to put this game down. And the only reason I say that is because Realm is a very addicting game by nature. The loot system in this game is entirely based on RNG. It's completely random. It's almost as if you're gambling with every fight. There's constant anticipation before killing an enemy to see what you may or may not get from it. You could be searching for this one item and pour hours and hours into the game and not get it until that one fateful day when you do, and it all becomes meaningful. You don't feel like you wasted your time because you know that you worked for it and your work has paid off. Although admittedly it is a little bit disheartening to work so hard for an item and then hear that somebody else got that very same item on their first try. Yeah, that's a kick in the teeth, but that's what you get for having a completely randomized loot system. But that was what really enticed me to play Realm, and a lot of other players too. It was that constant thought, the what if in your mind that told you, if you kill that enemy, you could get this really cool thing. You could get that thing that you need, that you want. And it's that desire that keeps you coming back for more, even if you don't want to play, which is kind of a good and bad thing if you think about it, but that's what drew me in. That's what made me play Realm for all of these years. It was that anticipation, the unknown factor of what I may or may not get. So I can truthfully say that Realm of the Mad God is a very easy game to pick up and play, but very difficult to master. And it's that very difficulty that lures you in and makes you want to do better. That innate human desire for something new and shiny. The game throws you the chance of all these little rewards in front of you, and you want them, because why not? It could be useful. And when you get that item that's useful, you feel good, and you want to do it again. So you keep on killing enemies until you get more. When it gets right down to that, it sounds like you may develop an addiction problem from playing this game. I can't really say yes or no to that. Maybe leaning towards the yes, but that's just me. However, I will say that after playing this game for, going on 4 years now, it has gone stale. It's not the best game out there for me. It was one of my favorite games for a long time, but while the charm is still there, the core gameplay has gone flat for me. I don't enjoy it like I used to because I've done it. It's the kind of thing that you can play a lot, and I can come back to it every now and then, but it doesn't have the same spark that it did when I was a new player. I compare this very much to games like Minecraft. It had a spark whenever I played it for the first time, the spark of adventure, the spark of something new and difficult, interesting. Now, it's that game that I know a lot about, and that I come back to time. I can't really learn that many new things about the game, and so that unknown mystique about the game has vanished. But that's kind of just what happens with games that you play for a long time. And that's why I think the very best of games are the ones that can keep you refreshed even years after playing it. You come back to it after a long break, and you find something new. You see something you didn't see before. That's how you know you probably have a good game on your hands. And there's definitely a lot of content in Realm of the Mad God to be that very game for you. It's not a game for everyone, like I said, if you don't like the bullet hell or MMORPG genre, or you're easily frustrated. And I didn't mention this, but if you have a laggy computer, these are all issues that may interfere with your overall enjoyment of this game. But if you're a fan of the intense yet simple difficulty, and you have a lot of patience and enjoy the small rewards that this game throws at you, I recommend that you take a look at Realm of the Mad God. It's a very charming yet simple game that you can get a ton of hours out of. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that this answered your question to whether or not you should play Realm of the Mad God. And as always, don't forget to check out the next episode whenever I post it, which will probably be soon. Alright. See ya.